What's going on YouTube? It's Dan here. I'm going to be reading the essay that got me to Duke University. And if you are too impatient to want to hear my preface, my little disclaimer, my explanation for the essay, just click down here. I have a button that goes straight to the timestamp where I start reading my essay. But if you're going to hang on here, I just want to talk about my essay for a second. This is not the first essay I wrote. This is actually my second essay. So the first one I wrote was a lot about nature and how I grew up near a forest and all sorts of the birds and animals, right? And I was going to turn that in. And then on Reddit, there was a college application subreddit. And there was a guy from Harvard who confirmed he was from Harvard. It wasn't just like a scam, who was taking essays to read. So I turned in my essay to him. And in the nicest way possible, he said basically it was the worst essay he's ever read because you could summarize the entire essay into 3 words. I like nature. That was my entire essay. It was pretty much not substantial, shallow. It was talking about stuff that really could be summarized in 3 simple words. So before I read this essay, I just want to talk about what a college essay isn't. And this is the Common App essay that kind of talks about, talk about an interest or something that your application wouldn't be complete without. So with that in mind, a college essay, a Common App essay is not 3 things. I just want to talk about 3 things. Number 1, it's not a brag sheet. It's not just a thing where you brag about how you interned at NASA or how you volunteer all the time or how you do something magical and mystical, because your application should already have that. You should already have that activity or extracurricular as part of your application. So on the same tangent, number 2, this is not something where you're just going to repeat what you've already said in your application. So if you say in your application as an extracurricular you like to fish, for example, don't talk about fishing in your essay unless you can really build upon it. This essay is to, have another window into who you are as an applicant and not just, reiterate what you've already said. And number 3, this essay is not supposed to be an expose of all the vocabulary you have obtained in high school, okay? You don't talk all didactic and so verbose, I guess. Just write how you would talk. This is a window to the admissions to let them see who you are, and this is not just to show that you know how to win a spelling bee or that you've, studied all your vocab quizzes. This is to be about you, not what you've, learned as words or how much of the dictionary you know by heart. No, this is about you. Okay, so we're going to begin our reading of this essay. This essay was kind of just how I'm a unique person, and this is the second essay, as I said before. So let's get started. I missed the camera there. Anyways, let's get started with our essay. Ready? Begin. All right. You're from New Jersey? Isn't that the garbage state? You mean the garden state, I corrected. And there I was, alone as a freshman in an unknown school in an unknown state with unknown people 3,000 miles from a place I once called home. My hometown would fit your typical description of a conservative backcountry town. Rolling hills, big houses, small schools, deer hunting, baseball, old and faded McCain-Palin stickers, jumping into the lake in the summer and sledding into the winter. The list goes on. And even for my immigrant family that arrived in rural, somewhat middle of nowhere New Jersey when I was 2, there was a sense of harmony among everyone in town. No one was telling anyone else how to live their life. We were just a tight-knit community of families, simply taking life a day at a time. And as the years flew by, not much changed. People moved in, raised their kids, sent them off to college. Some left after that, and others stayed. And the cycle continued. There was a sense of mutual respect for one another. Laughter was abundant, arguments rare. Life was good. Shortly after the sudden news that we would be moving out to urban Southern California, that feeling changed very quickly. The slow-paced, comfortable life was replaced with the fast and super competitive. It seemed as if everyone was trying to outstudy, out-athlete, out-GPA their peers. I was an outsider looking in on people turning against each other in every aspect of high school life that one could find. The cutthroat culture that seemed to envelop every student's mind soon spread to politics as a certain celebrity businessman rose to the national spotlight. Suddenly, people were taking sides between Make America Great Again hats and Love Trump's hate shirts as insults flew unrestrained between them. It quickly escalated to people putting duct tape on their mouths, changing their social media profiles to add political messages, the whole 9 yards. Everything became political. I never expected politics to take over my life. Before sophomore year, I frankly didn't care. I didn't know the difference between Democrats and Republicans or who my governor or representative was. I didn't understand the pro-life versus pro-choice argument, gun control, immigration. I knew next to nothing. That all changed when I began to overhear people saying things like, no Republican can possibly have an IQ over 90, or anyone who supports Trump is racist. These insults began to compound in my mind. I came from Republican country, grew up with some of the most generous, friendly, intelligent individuals you can imagine. People who could recall digits of pi effortlessly. People who consistently managed to catch fish within seconds of casting. People who would walk 7 miles across town to visit you since they didn't have a car. Were immediately labeled as dumb and racist simply due to the color of their red hat. I decided that my mission in high school and beyond is to disabuse those who view conservatives as an evil, oppressive force about why we believe the things that we do. Not to impose my beliefs on others, but so people can better understand the rationale that supports conservative ideas. People have become so polar over politics that they see it as a fight of good versus evil rather than a vast array of differences in values, experiences, and ideas. My reputation for being a conservative grew around school. I recently become an intern for my local congresswoman, handling constituent to district communications and outreach events. I've also found myself in political discussions every day, both informally and in debate and political clubs. People question me often. Once, a friend of mine wondered why I was conservative, even though I was a Filipino immigrant. She jokingly said, "You're a brown Republican." That title stuck and became the name of my political blog, The Brown Republican. Thank you for sitting along with me as I read my essay. I might have some reflections in the description or reflections in another video, but this was the Common App essay that got me to Duke, so thank you for watching. Hope you stay tuned. Later.